Hi. Yeah. Look where we started, my dear. Whoever thought we'd be here? Sweet release. Come to me. This holds on your lips. There's something in the wine. Wish for your happiness as we leaving this behind. Hope it's brought wisdom on gathering time. This holds on your lips. There's truth in the wine. God knows that we both tried. It's been such a beautiful ride. Sweet release. Come me. This holds on your lips. There's truth in the wine. We've gone down swinging. At least we've been trying. The cut of your honesty's better than mine. This holds on your lips. There's truth in the wine. So goodbye, my love, yeah. It's too painful for us to be friends, but it's worth it to know you'll be out there smiling, smiling again. There's salt on your lips, there's truth in the wine. Remember the good days, done with the crime. I hope that someday it's wisdom I find. There's a stain in your whisper, your words left behind. A salt on my lips. There's truth in the wine. Just hold on your lips. There's truth. In the wine. Truth in the wine. Yeah. Truth in the wine. Okay. Happy Wednesday, gatherers. As many of you know, we like Wednesday. My favorite day of the week. My favorite day of the week, well, let's not get crazy. It's definitely better than Monday and Tuesday. How's that? And you know, look, anyone can muscle. You can power through a Friday. Anyone can power through that. This is the theory, at least. You can power through a Friday. So really, once you're at Wednesday, you basically have like one day, one legitimate day that you have to get through until you're on the like slide. You're basically at the weekend by Friday. That's what I'm saying. We're there. We're there. It's a good night for me. I'm excited that my friend Mark Erelli is gonna come on and share music with us tonight. This will be Mark's first time gathering with us. It'll be actually his and my first time, kind of hanging out. We actually did a little test run last night, and it was just nice to get to talk face to face. We've been bobbing and weaving around similar circles for so long. We're gonna hear some of his music, but he's also he's organizing this really cool concert series that we're gonna be a part of on Friday, and I'm excited because Friday is gonna be our first day back with the band, and I cannot wait. Tomorrow actually is gonna be our first time seeing each other. Woo! Like 4 years. Feels like it. 4 months. Anyway, it's a good week. Back in Boston. Well, now Buck to Johnny, he sent a letter to the Globe, said the governor's at it again. Said I saw him twice last week with this girl Monique, while his wife said the dog's getting thin. He's in league with the mob, kickbacks, every job, got them all out in charge of the day. And this drug cartel, it's sure the well run it all, the priests and the pigs. And if you don't print my story, I'll go somewhere else with all of the things I saw. Cause it's a scandal, restless, like a local daytime. Scandal, not where's there is a regular cool daytime. It's a scandal. Well, Jean at the Globe, she got Johnny's letter. Her mouth puckered up like a seam. She sees stories as huge, set the standard for news. She was living out her hopes and her dreams. She sent her right down to print where a mole named Clint soaked it into his bloodshot eyes. He called Joe from McNews, who pissed in his shoes and sent it out over the wires. By 4 o'clock that afternoon, everybody had a flapping jaw. Cause it's a scandal, rest of the day, it's a regular cool daytime. Scandal, rest of the day, it's a regular cool daytime. It's a scandal. Well, now me and the boys, we were down at Sully's drinking after a day in the pits. And McNews on the screen, our former dean shouts out, ain't that the governor mix? Hey man, I voted for that lousy SOB. And we all shouted can the clowning in bars and homes all around all the neighboring towns. The same ugly scene went down. We better march on the Capitol, show them we're not as dumb as they think we are. Cause it's a scandal, razzles, regular cool daytime. Scandal, not razzles, regular cool daytime. It's a scandal. Where the governor stood in his office, white tee, silk suit, looking down at the scene on the streets. We'd all come out holding signs and shouting the governor's a crook and a cheat. Meanwhile, Lackey burst in with a desperate grin. He said, "What we're gonna do now, Chief?" Well, the gov lit up a pipe, said it'd be alright. We'll call the National Party for relief. Man, in 2 weeks' time, they'll let us all cleaned up without so much as a hammer or a haul. Cause it's a scandal, rest days, a regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, rest days, a regular coup d'etat. Well, the next day flew by, the party thugs arrived with their wrists handcuffed to their files. Said, "We got a 3-pronged attack to get you back on track." And the gov flashed a glistening smile. "First we'll slam this buck-tooth Johnny guy, and you're gonna roll out a tax cut plan. Then we'll help redistrict just so hardly no one will know, but we'll never lose elections again. Meanwhile, you better toe the party line on. By next year's time, you'll be a community professor of law. Cause it's a scandal, there's a regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, there's a regular coup d'etat. It's a scandal, hey, hey, hey. Well, then some may guess and others detest. The stolen brothers out like a match. We go with the gulp shovel talk show pulp down the sordid proverbial hatch. And Buck-Tooth Johnny started it all. He got a dose of the old what for. They say they got him online committing the crime of consorting with terrorists and whores. But he just signed a deal on a book called Squeal. It'll be featured on Oprah this fall. Cause it's a scandal, rest days, regular coup d'etat. And meanwhile, Joe from McNews won the Pulitzer for his outstanding work in the field. Keep his reputation clean, he had to pay off Gene, signed her up to a 6-figure deal. Presidential run for the gov, guess it proved to the thugs he could sure play a mean game of ball. For those that ain't rich, we're still back in the pits, overwhelmed by the blur of it all. Yeah, we'll get $50 back off of next year's taxes, spend it on whiskey and chalk. Meanwhile, the school downtown gets its budget cut down, ripped out with the serpent-like claw. And if you're looking for truth, well, you could set up a booth, pedal anything that cuts like a saw. Cause it's a scandal, rest of days, regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, rest of days, regular coup d'etat. Scandal, child, rest of days, regular coup d'etat. It's a backdoor deal, it's a flim-flam, it stinks about your naysay quad. It's a scandal. Well, okay. Yup. I think I'm gonna probably play I'll probably play one more song, and then I'll have the amazing Mark Erelli come and join us. Oh, thank you for the claps and the hearts and the little fireball emojis. I appreciate it. Yeah. Here's a leftover from Saturday's request night for you. Gold is for the sun, red takes all the fun. Green I come undone, on forever. These are things I know, learn them as I grow. I leave them when I go, on forever. Dazzled by the Seth, singed with my regrets, spinning an imperfect disarray. I do not have the gift to see in black and white, but I'm okay by you tonight. Morning's my surprise, day's my disguise. Night I realize, on forever. Sometimes I can't hide when they all collide. I try to keep my stride, on forever. Awake to breathe my fate, I try not to hesitate. Realize that it's all just in my head. I cannot differentiate the wrong from right, but I'm okay by you tonight. Begin as you and they, middle's melody, the end's too sad to sing, on forever. And I don't wanna let you down when I'm not around. Yeah, I'm captured by the sound of forever. Taste it as it starts, tangled up in hearts. Know that it will never be the same. When it's feeling good, I want to hold on tight. And I'm okay by you tonight. I'm okay by you tonight. I'm okay by you tonight. Okay. I'm gonna prep ahead of time. I'm gonna be really good. And every time I seem to Skype, that little logo ends up being right in somebody's face when this becomes a split screen, doesn't it? Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the claps and the love. Man, you know, it is one of my favorite things about being a musician, especially these days. As you know, I mean, for years and years, we were just playing in any little bar that would hire us, and especially these days, just the incredibly talented musicians that I get to cross paths with these days on a fairly regular basis. is it just is mind blowing and inspiring to me. And Mark Erelli is one of those artists from Massachusetts who who's kind of been I think on a checklist of people that songwriters that I really respected. I was looking forward to meeting. It was only a matter of time, and Mark called me up the other day because he's doing this amazing concert series that we're going to talk about. We're going to be a part of on Friday, and I just thought, well, it's too crazy for us to be doing some fun stuff together and not have you come on a gathering with us. So I'm going to set this up now, okay? And we'll give Mark a call. All right. Let's see if he's around, huh? Hey, brother, are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here. Hold on one sec.
Yep.
There we go. All right.
All right, man. Your mic sounds good. It's good to
Awesome.
see you, man. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
It's my pleasure to be here. My pleasure to be here. I've been following along already. Sounding great.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yep. Yeah, this is actually, I mean, this brick wall, man, it actually, because as you know, I just landed back in Boston, but it brings me back to those first days when this whole thing started. And, and I was just live streaming from my phone, just sitting here, but do you remember the first gig that was like your first kind of weekend home where you were like, oh.
Yeah, I do. I remember it vividly because I lost several $1,000s in like one email.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, I guess this is it's gonna be like that. And then it kept happening, and like, yeah, it was really crazy.
Are you still with me, gatherers? Can you find your way back to me? I am so sorry. This is the same challenge. I had this challenge last night. So I'm going to make sure that you guys are back here safe and sound with me. Oh, there you are. My resilient gatherers. I love that. All right. Let's bring Mark back, okay?
Hey there.
Oh, you are a good sport, my friend. Thank you.
Oh man, my pleasure.
These amazing people who gather with me each night. It is an amazing thing. We have been through so many weird connections and technical issues in the past. They're seasoned at this point.
They've done a lot of buffering alongside of
Oh God, they've been so patient. And when I was out in the desert, mean, we were on such a bad Wi-Fi signal, right? Like any given night, it was brutal. You would think that now that we're back in Boston times, that I would have my act together, but yeah, not so much.
It's all good, man.
Yeah. You know what? I was doing a little reading about you, and you and I have something in common. You have a master's degree in evolutionary biology, which when I was I was a geography. I was like a weird geography major as an undergraduate, but when I was a senior, I just got really into evolutionary biology. Like that's what I ended up doing my whole senior project. It was all about Edward O. Wilson and
Wow.
And it was really cool to just to read that about you, that you're actually coming from that place. Did you think that you were going to go into that? into that
I
world?
found biology in high school through a very influential high school biology teacher, and he's what really kind of lit the fire under me to kind of pursue that. And I hit college thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna be like a teacher or a professor of biology. But the further I got into college, the more into music I got, and I ended college thinking like, God, I don't know what I want to do. But I just didn't know. I knew one scientist, and I didn't know any musicians. So, I didn't have a large sample size. So I was persuaded to get my master's degree in evolutionary biology, but I played music the whole time and ran myself ragged. And at the end of it, I just said, I got to figure out, I got to give this a shot, or I'm going to regret it my whole life.
Yeah, and
I'm still trying.
and you and me both, brother. Brother. I loved, man, that field fascinates me. I mean, continues to fascinate me so much. And to me, one of the things that strikes me about music is that there is so much about us that is the same. Everybody, right? We are just made up of the same stuff, and music speaks to that, and it makes all of that makes so much sense to me through music. And here is this discipline that essentially is saying, you know what? We're all, everything about how we feel and our culture and who we are, that there's a reason for everything. It all is logical, right? And there's this, we're on part of this evolutionary path, and it's gotten weird in some ways because our culture has become so advanced. But you can really boil it all down to the roots of where we come from and how we evolved.
Absolutely. I mean, the tracing lineages, which is like a big part of evolutionary biology. I mean, that has served me so well in music. I mean, I just poured over liner notes as a kid, and I would, see who played what on which record, and what else did they play on, and what else did she write, and who else did this person produce, and so I was like trained through my biology to kind of look for the relationships and the kind of pathway from one thing to another. So for me, evolutionary biology and folk music, it was a very easy jump.
I love that.
Thing.
And you've played a lot of roles as a musician over the years as well.
Yeah. I like that segue. That was a good segue.
I am a pro, man. Let me tell you, as you can tell by our Wi-Fi feeds tonight.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it,
shape
man.
around here.
Yeah.
But really, I love that too. You've played with some incredible artists over the years.
Yeah, and that all goes back to the evolutionary kind of viewpoint and mind frame too, because I'll do the solo singer-songwriter thing. I play in a bluegrass band. Yeah. I do sideman work with Lori McKenna and Josh Ritter and Mark Cohn, and all that. I know that it looks like different roles, and I understand why people say that, and they are somewhat different roles. But for me, it's like all that stuff feeds me in a different way, but it gets at the same thing. They're all very related roles. So, and they're integrated to the point at this point where I don't see the difference in them. Sometimes I'm playing my own gig, sometimes I'm playing somebody else's gig. It's literally the same.
Yeah.
I don't feel any different.
Yeah, right on. We've talked about this with the Gatherers, that there was a time years ago I started. Ellis Paul took me on the road, and I was opening up for Ellis. But he would have, over time, as we got to know each other, he'd have me stay up on the stage, and I would play. And it was my only time that I've ever been on stage playing this supporting role and singing harmonies and kind of playing some solo stuff on the guitar. And it was such a joy. It was such a joy to do that. I mean, it was so nice to have a different and unique outlet, to play music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like that's one of the roles that's the easiest to love. I mean, I love singing my own stuff, obviously, but as a sideman, I'm not responsible for literally anything but music.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for the merch table. I'm not responsible for getting us where we need to go. I'll happily weigh in. But really, it's just you're just there to kind of support the artist's vision and to make them feel, like you got their back musically, and that's a beautiful thing. So
awesome.
I kind of love that role quite a bit.
Will you tell me about, because I just saw this today too, will you tell me about By Degrees?
Sure.
What an amazing thing to have been involved in. I didn't know about any of this. I just figured, I was just so excited that you were going to be on with my gatherers, and I went onto your Spotify page. It was one of your, first songs up there, and the names on that track. I mean, how did that all come together?
Yeah, so By Degrees is a song that I wrote kind of inspired by one of the endless parade of headlines of mass shootings here in this country. And I recorded a version of it in my basement, just me and my guitar, and sent it to a few radio stations several years ago. And they all played it to varying degrees, but it kind of, it was a humble recording, a modest recording, and it performed as such. And as the shootings kept happening and keep happening, I thought, this song hasn't. I'm not letting this song off the hook so easily. It needs to do more. But I can't do it with just my voice. Like it's the size of the megaphone does matter at a certain point. So I had kind of hooked up with Roseanne Cash through Twitter. I tweeted her the original version of the song, and she responded to me, and we became friends. And when I came up with this idea of like a sort of Americana We Are the World, version of By Degrees, where everyone would take a verse, I said, well, I'm going to write to Roseanne and see if she'll do it. And if she doesn't say yes, then I'm just torpedoing it right there. Right. And she wrote back immediately and was like, I'm in. So I was like, okay, now I have to do it.
Now we got that was the catalyst, right? Yeah, totally.
Roseanne was the catalyst. And I grew up with Lori and Josh Ritter.
What incredible artists, by the way.
Yeah, Anais Mitchell.
Hi, gatherers. Are you still with me? I'm going to give you a few minutes until I see you pop on, and then we'll call Mark again. I'm so sorry. It's so frustrating. Oh, there you are. Yep, part 3 is right. You are amazing. I'm sorry. Oh, God. I was having such a fun time talking to Mark. Let's call him again. Let's see if we can make this work. We'll give it another try. That's all you could do.
My man.
Oh, God. Thank you for being so patient with me. I'm so sorry. I hate when things go wrong, and they go wrong. They go wrong sometimes.
Despite our best laid plans.
I know. Or even our worst plans in some cases. Because I am gun shy now, and I want you to be able to play some music from my gatherers before this damn thing shuts down again. I do want to say to those of you gathering right now, please, you can check out that song we were talking about, By Degrees, on Mark's Spotify page, on his website, or any place that you can stream music. There is a link to Mark's website on this post, but those of you gatherers on the chat board, please do some reposting for us so you can spread the word. You'll find out in 1 second, but I'm just, Mark, I'm thrilled to have you on, and I'm thrilled to have you share some music with my gatherers. It's a special night for us.
Oh man, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'm gonna give you the full.
Song?
Yeah, you should do a song, and I'm gonna give you the full screen right now.
All right. Wow.
It's all you. All right, here you go.
All right. I'm gonna do a little number from a record I put out almost exactly a year ago. I put out a record last year on March 27th called "Blindsided," and this is a song called "The River Always Wins." At the diner downtown, old timers sit around, talk about the flood of 42, how they watched from higher ground as the water took it down like a verse from the Bible come true. After losing everything, you could hear the hammers ring as they built it back up again. The mill wheels turned and they needed a church, washed of all their sins, but the river always wins. I come down from the mountain like judgment from on high, going home to the ocean, and I don't give a damn about the dreams of man, and I won't be tonight. Well, I seen boys with fishing poles and born again souls, lovers with their hearts ablaze. I've always been there for the lonely and despair. I took a few in my dark embrace. Seen the mills pull out and the jobs go south. It ain't never been the same way since. For everything they try to change, I will always remain. I'll be damned, but I won't give in, 'cause the river always wins. I come down from the mountain like judgment from on high, going home to the ocean, and I don't give a damn about the dreams of man, and I won't be tonight. I come down from the mountain like judgment from on high, going home to the ocean, and I don't give a damn about the dreams of man, and I won't be tonight. No, I won't be tonight. Hey.
Yeah.
There we
Awesome.
go.
I love
got it
that
in.
song, man. I love that song.
you.
Yeah. Man, you know what? The only shame of it is that you can't, like, this is like the joy for me. Because usually when I'm playing, I'm trying to be present in the song, but I got to watch you and mute my microphone and watch all of our gatherers just loving on you as you were playing.
Oh, great.
man.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you so much. Will you do me a favor? Will you play one more song? If it, you know,
Oh, yeah,
the
man.
computer may you burst into flames at any minute. But
Right.
I'd love it if you could play just one more, if that'd be all right.
Well, sure. Yeah,
All
we were
right,
talking
man.
about By Degrees, and
Yeah.
maybe I should just play By Degrees.
Oh, I love
It's,
that song, man. Yeah, I'd love it if you did that. I'm gonna give you the whole screen again. Here you go, man.
All right. Yep. All right. So let's see how in tune we are. All right, we got lucky. All right. Well, this I was gonna say this song is feeling particularly relevant this week, but it feels frankly relevant too many weeks. So there's nothing really more I can say that I don't say already in the song. So I'll just leave it at that. And it's called By Degrees. When I take a look around me, sometimes I wish I was blind. Feels like something sacred's dying, one headline at a time. I can't tear myself away, no, I just stare in disbelief. You can learn to live with anything when it happens by degrees. I've seen every head bowed down, as if lost in private prayer. I've seen the phones in every hand, seen the long and vacant stares of souls gone numb, thumbing through each ceaseless changing feed. You can learn to live with anything when it happens by degrees. I've seen pundits shouting back and forth across some great divide against a map of red and blue, points of view so cut and dried. But when you look into the mirror, what color country do you see? Where you can learn to live with anything when it happens by degrees. And I've seen the flags at half-staff as the nation mourned and moaned. I've seen the stars and bars of flying proud above the State House dome. For the Charleston 9 we sing, I once was blind, but now I see. We can learn to live with anything when it happens by degrees. And I've seen little hands on little shoulders, children in a line. I've seen them led away from school as the shots rang out inside. And I thought something has to change, but somehow it's become routine. We can learn to live with anything when it happens by degrees. I've seen sadness seep into my heart, each day a little more. This darkness growing so familiar, I can't recall what came before. My children's faces filled with questions, looking up expectantly, and I don't know what to tell them. No, I can't bring myself to tell them that you can learn to live with anything when it happens by degrees.
so glad you got to play that song for
Yeah.
the gatherers tonight, man. Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me. It's such a privilege.
Yeah. Hey, before I let you go, let's talk
Yeah.
about the Second Shift music series.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Let's.
Because man, I'm so excited about Friday night. And by the way, the chat board's going crazy. You're getting all sorts of clap emojis and heart emojis and star and love emoji. There's a lot of emoji happening.
Oh, that's
All focused in your general direction. It's really good, man.
good.
But you know, not only am I super excited to be playing with the band, not only am I super excited about the space itself, but it's actually it's an honor to be a part of your concert series that you've been organizing, and I feel like it's this really special thing that's happening, and I'd love it if you could maybe just talk a little bit to our gatherers about how you got involved and just tell them what's going on.
Yeah, so the concert series is called the Second Shift Music Series, and it is happens normally in the Charles River Museum of Industry and Innovation, which is on the banks of the Charles River in Waltham, Massachusetts. And the building that the museum is housed in is the oldest factory in America. Basically, it used to be, it was the first or it's the longest standing vertically integrated factory. So raw materials would come in, and then they would get processed and manufactured into finished goods and shipped out.
Yeah.
And the whole thing happened in that building. And so it's an historic building. They have several concert series. They have a jazz series. They have the Second Shift series, which is more songwriter oriented. They've got lecture series and all sorts of stuff. I played the Second Shift series. God, it must have been 4 years ago. And Michael Tarbox, wonderful blues guitar player here in town, used to book it. And I was just like, man, if I booked this series, I would book myself here every show. It was amazing. Like the beautiful space, the 40-foot ceilings in the main gallery. Right. So it sounds like a cathedral, but it's got like a more steampunk kind of vibe, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I got off stage and they said, "Did you mean what you meant about booking this series? Because Michael is looking to pass it on to someone." And so, you know, we were talking about this, Adam, like you and I kind of grew up going to these kinds of concert series and came up playing these kinds of suburban, you know, Boston coffee house sort of series. And I felt like a real kind of imperative to give back and to support a series, you know, like I would have gone to as a kid. The Waltham series is it's not like a church coffee house. They sell beer and they do beer and wine and stuff, but it's a listening room. It's all ages, and you know, and it's not, people don't have to go into the city proper, which used to be, you know, maybe more of a thing than it is now. But you know, really quality programming, the best songwriters
and you guys
in the world.
And in the Second Shift series, you've innovated because of all of this that we're living
because
through.
We had to, yeah.
and just I'm blown away by the lineup of artists that you have coming in. It really is something special, and maybe you could just chat about. I mean, the series opened up this year with Laurie McKenna, who is who is I've talked about Laurie a bunch with the gatherers that play Humble and Kind every once in a while, and
nice.
And I just but just the lineup that you have, and the kind of the beautiful thing is that it was a wonderful series as a live in-person series, but now people all over the world can access every single show. So I want to make sure that we're leaving them with information about where they can get the schedule and keep in touch after Friday night for sure.
Yeah, so your show, we normally do Thursday nights. Your show, we're doing on Friday, kind of a special, it's a special thing, your show, for several reasons. But it's normally Thursday nights, um, and yours is going to be at 7. We normally do 7:30. It happens on the museum's YouTube channel, and it will be there this Friday as well as on your
Mm-hmm.
Facebook normal gathering place. And let's see, after you, we've got coming up Melissa Ferrick
Oh,
on April
awesome.
1st, which is great.
Yeah.
We have a surprise guest that's going to be announced this Friday on
Ooh.
April 8th. So I'm really excited about that. One of my personal musical heroes is doing
Whoa.
the series. And then we'll finish up on April 15th with Heather Maloney, a wonderful
Oh yeah.
singer-songwriter from out in Western Mass.
She's great.
And yeah, so they can go to the Charles River Museum website to find all the information on the gigs. And it's on their YouTube. They all are on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the money, that comes in, gets split between artists and the museum and this wonderful nonprofit called Aid, which helps support the local Waltham restaurant worker community because they're taking a hit in this time too.
Yeah, I love that. And gatherers, just so you know, on Friday, we're going to be posting on the board and on our post information about the series and their own donation button where that is separate from ours. We're donating
Yeah.
100% of all money donated that night is going back to the series and back to Dynaid and we're just Mark, I'm honored to be amongst the artists that you called to be a part of the series, and I'm just
Yeah.
looking forward to the night, man.
Me too, man. It took a little kind of moving around, but we made it happen.
We made it
And
happen.
it was totally worth it. And I know I can't wait, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting our gathering tonight. It's been great hanging with you, and here's to many chapters to come.
I got to go upstairs and get something now.
Yes, you do. Good talking to
I
you,
got a
brother.
cup. I got a cup here.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing in it, but
Nah, it's all right. It's the thought that counts. Good hanging with you, brother. Thanks for visiting
you
with us.
bet. See you
All right.
soon.
Special guy. Special guy. Well, y'all, through our tech issues, we all managed to make it through together. I love it. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the wind at our back. May it always blow steady wherever you roam. May it turn when you're ready to carry you home. May it keep you ahead of the rain. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the heavens above. Sunsets are glance of God's great design. Some say it's the science of all things combined. May we look up and always feel wonder. Here is to us, and all that we see is to our hearts and the air that we breathe. Here's to round and good company. Here's to the drink that we share. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to this time that we had. But these moments pass lightly and they won't come again. May our lives all burn brightly right up to the end. May we live them with joyous abandon. Raise up your glass. Let us drink to the end of the day. Let us drink to the world when the working is through. Let us drink one of me. Let us drink one of yours. Let us drink one to those who want with us. Here is to us, and all that we see is to our hearts and the air that we breathe. Here's to around in good company. Here's to the future. Here's to the past. Let us drink one down slow. Let us drink one down fast. Let us drink one as if this night is our last. Here's to the drink that we share. Oh, here's to the drink that we share. Cheers. Thanks for sticking it out with me, y'all. Oh, this was a great night for me. And glad that I could share my friend with you. And excited for the next couple of days. Yeah. Please stay safe. Keep on looking out for one another. And I'll see you tomorrow.